5 subtle signs of anxiety that often go unnoticed. Uncontrolled anxiety is a sign of deteriorating mental health. The coronavirus pandemic has had a real impact on mental health. Isolation, staying at home, losing jobs to economic difficulties makes many people more anxious and stressed. Uncontrolled anxiety is one of the signs of deteriorating mental health. This condition needs to be treated as soon as possible. Uncertainty, fear, and misunderstanding are the sensations that most anxiety sufferers experience, but have not yet received a definitive diagnosis. Unlike physical disorders, it is not always easy to explain how anxiety is perceived, a disorder in which physical, emotional, and cognitive symptoms converge that can turn into a real an ordeal. Indeed, once the symptoms of anxiety are identified, the diagnosis becomes even liberating for many people because they finally find an explanation to what happens to them, and of course, they can look for a solution. Anxiety is not a monolithic entity, which means that it can present itself in several ways. There will be those who suffer the most from its psychological effects and those who somatize it. In any case, knowing the first symptom of anxiety will help you recognize it quickly and stop its advance. Here are 5 signs of anxiety that often goes unnoticed. Number 1. Cold feet. Yes, cold feet aren't just annoying. They can also be one of the first symptoms of anxiety. When you are anxious, your brain assumes that you are in danger and redirects the blood flow to the body's main organs, which are located in the torso, the trunk of the human body. As a result, less blood will reach the extremities, hands and feet. The ancestral fight or flight response is meant to ensure your survival. Unfortunately, this mechanism is activated indiscriminately, whether in the face of a real danger, such as the attack of a grizzly bear, or if you're anxious because you are late for the meeting. Number 2. Frequent yawning. Yawning is not only an indicator of sleep or boredom, it can also be a sign of anxiety. In fact, in recent years, the theory has taken shape that yawning serves to expand and compress the walls of the maxillary sinus, located near the nose, to pump air to the brain and decrease its temperature. It has also been seen that nervous people and those suffering from panic attacks or generalized anxiety yawn more often. A study conducted at Bournemouth University found a connection between the frequency of yawning and the increase of stress hormone cortisol in the blood. The curious fact is that cortisol also increases the temperature of the body and brain, and that's exactly why you yawn when you are feeling anxious. Number 3. Recurring nightmares. If you frequently have recurring nightmares, it's likely a symptom of anxiety, frustration, and worry. This was the conclusion reached by a group of psychologists from Cardiff University, who explains that the occasional nightmares attempt to make sense of the day's experiences. In contrast, recurring nightmares result from negative emotions derived from a profound feeling of lack of control over our lives and the idea that we are unable to cope with problems. Number 4. Mental fog. If you're having trouble concentrating lately, it could be due to anxiety. It is not simply that worries prevent you from focusing attention because your mind is trapped in a whirlwind of ideas, but you can experience a kind of mental fog, also known as fibrofog. You can perceive it as an inability to understand reality and think clearly. As a result, you will likely start having memory problems. It will be difficult for you to remember even what you have just read. Number 5. Metallic taste in the mouth. Anxiety often causes a metallic taste in your mouth, which can become very unpleasant. There are several explanations. Stress is causing a bacterial reaction in the mouth that causes the gums to bleed. The blood has a metallic taste, which, when you notice, even if the amount is so small that you cannot see it. Added to this is that during times of anxiety, you become more sensitive to certain flavors. An experiment conducted at the University of Bristol confirmed that anxiety increases the perception of bitter and salty flavors. I hope that you'll find this video to your valuable advantage, and it might help you in different ways. If you found this video informative, do like and subscribe, and don't forget to give comments and provide us with your valuable feedback. Plus, you want to suggest us a topic for the next video? Feel free to tell us. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.